release of Alestral's newest set, Moonrise, is just 16 days away, leaving everybody wondering the same question. What's good now? Hello, I'm Constellation Gaming, and this is Moonrise Mayhem, where I'll use my experience topping multiple large tournaments to try to give you my perspective on what's going to be good in the upcoming meta. On today's episode, we'll be taking a look at Solar Flare. This deck looks to play a beatdown heavy strategy before ascending into Dracoray to win the game. To start off the deck, we have 2 copies of Dracoray. It states this Dracoray cannot be suppressed. When you activate First Light, you can special ascend this Dracoray into Dracoray from your hand or deck. Now don't let the looks deceive you, even though this does appear to play around Gorgon's Gaze, since it can't be suppressed. Dracoray's ability allows him to ascend, and unfortunately Gorgon's Gaze also prevents ascension, so we did not get the first card to ever play around Gorgon's Gaze printed this set. Paired with our Dracoray's ability, we'll be playing 2 copies of Dracoray. It says when you cast this Dracoray, you can return up to 3 solar from your underworld to your spirit deck. During your draw phase, you can expend 1 fire in order to special ascend this Dracoray into Dracolis from your deck. Dracoray's ability to heal 3 solar when played might just make Dracoray the best 2-drop to be printed outside of the liths. However, we really don't care about the second portion of its ability since we're not playing Dracolis. We really just care that this is a 7-attack beat stick. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of Aster Rabbit. Aster Rabbit is simply the best Celestial in the game due to its large defense being a massive problem for most Celestials in the game, and due to its ability being the best consistency tool that Celestials has to offer right now. So the fact that Bunny is extremely strong means that we play the Bunny until they ban the Bunny. The next Celestial we'll be playing is 3 copies of Eddie. With its ability to kill Rabbit while playing around almost every single counter in the entire game with the exception of Gorgon's Gaze, Eddie is simply a monster and will be played for a long time to come. The last Celestial that we'll be playing 3 copies of is Lumaru, a 5/2 solar Celestial that states when this Lumaru destroys an Celestial in battle, you may have your opponent mill the top 3 cards of your deck. We mainly play Lumaru due to its 5 attack, however, with Zeus coming back into the meta, that might make Argo packages relevant again, and Lumaru does work really well against the Argo packages due to the fact that you might mill one of their pieces needed for it to function. Moving on, we'll be talking about the only Fire Celestial that we're playing in the entire deck, with 2 copies of Kinleo. Kinleo states you can Nexus up to 2 fire. If you do, destroy an opponent's Celestial. So as long as Kinleo can be protected, you're always able to win the game due to the fact that Kinleo works as a continuous removal spell essentially. Paired with our Kinleo, we'll be playing 2 copies of Cybermaw. The Celestial says when you cast this Cybermaw, you can search your deck for a Golden Fleece, empowering this Cybermaw. Spirits from your spirit deck and or your underworld can be used to cast this Golden Fleece. The one thing that is very critical to mention about this card is the fact that it does not state how Golden Fleece has to be enchanted, so therefore you can enchant it however you like and easily misenchant it to work with our Kinleo and give him a great Nexus bank, or you can properly enchant it to make Cybermaw a great defensive tool to ascend our Dracoray over. Either way, Cybermaw is a fantastic card in this deck and brings it together very well. And the final Celestial we'll be playing is 1 copy of Elichick. Elichick allows us to search our deck for any Divine Rune we want, either possibly making this a 7-attack beat stick or grabbing a Nexus bank for Kinleo. Elichick is so strong that it had to be limited to 1, and since we are playing multiple Divine Runes, we might as well play the 1 copy of Elichick. Before we continue the video, I do want to remind everybody that I will be giving away a Reverse Stellar Exaltus. All you have to do to enter to win this beautiful card is like the video and subscribe to the channel, and you will be entered. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. The first rune we're playing is 2 copies of First Light. This states that you can search your deck for any Solar Celestial and put it on top of your deck. Not only can you grab any Solar Celestial that fits the situation. It also works with Dracoray's ability, allowing you to quickly ascend into Dracoray. The one thing that's important to note with this interaction is the fact that you will search your deck for the Dracoray to ascend first, and then you will put the Solar Celestial that you desire on top. That way, Dracoray's ability doesn't interrupt your search. Next, we have a pretty small removal package, starting with 2 copies of Cryoblast. Since most Celestials that have higher attack stat than our Celestials that we're playing will have an extremely low defense, Cryoblast is almost counted as an instant kill spell. And we're also playing 1 copy of Resting on Your Laurels. Resting on Your Laurels is extremely cheap removal that allows you to come back in a game, and was also limited to 1 for a reason, so we only play 1 copy. The final piece of removal that we'll be playing is 2 copies of Zeus. Now I know Zeus isn't technically removal, however with his ability to allow our Celestials to easily beat over opposing Celestials, and its ability to pair with Cryoblast to make anything -5 defense and possibly kill it, makes Zeus a pseudo removal spell in my eyes. Moving on, we'll be playing an Argo package featuring 2 copies of Argo. A 2-cost Omni Rune that states it. This Argo can only be cast after an Celestial declares an attack. Cast an artifact rune from your hand or deck, empowering an Celestial. So to pair with this, we'll be playing 2 copies of Golden Fleece, a 2-cost solar artifact rune that states this empowered Celestial gets +2 defense. If the empowered Celestial would be destroyed in battle by an opponent's card effects, you may destroy this Golden Fleece instead. We're playing 1 copy of Necklace of Harmonia and 1 copy of Poison Tunic. All these cards can easily flip the tide of battle in our favor. Not only that, they can be utilized as a Nexus bank to pair with our Kinleo. To finish off the main deck, we'll be running 3 copies of Gorgon's Gaze. Gorgon's Gaze is an extremely strong counter rune that says no to pretty much anything that an Celestial desires to do. We're playing 3 copies of PTA, a strong counter rune that serves as great removal, and the 2 attack will frequently save our Celestials due to their 4 attack line. And our final card of the deck is 3 copies of Tsunami. This is to blank an entire battle phase unless they're water enchanted. Moving on to our Spirit deck, we'll be playing 1 copy of Flurmine for our Cryoblast. We'll be playing 4 copies of Vipyro for our Kinleo and its Nexus effect. We'll be playing 4 copies of Zaptor for our Aster Rabbits, our Elichick, and our Zeus. We'll be playing 3 Leviathan for our Tsunamis and for our Eddies, and we're going to be playing 8 Luminape to finish off the Spirits. So, what do you think of Solar Flare? Would you run this deck? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe as I do put out content like this daily. I will see you tomorrow for another deck list. I hope you have a good day. Peace.